What's up, everybody? What is up, Team Furious? How you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are having a sexy day. Hopefully you guys are just simply just doing well wherever it is that you guys are in this world. I wanted to address a question that I've gone over the years for. Actually, I've probably the number one question that I've gone over the years was, has marijuana, has weed influenced your competitive eating abilities? No, I'm currently not doing competitive eating contests. I was a full-time competitive eater, probably full-time. I was doing competitive eating contests all the time, kind of between 2008 to 2012 approximately. Then I just did a few a year. 2008 to 2011, I was doing them very, very frequently, winning about 95% of them. So I was going into these contests with one reason in mind, and that was to win. Not trying to be cocky or anything. It was just that was my job. If you guys didn't understand, in university, this was how I paid for my tuition. I went to these contests, and the only reason that I traveled to these contests and spent money getting to these contests was because I was pretty damn confident that I was going to take the first place prize money. And prize money, literally, like, it just wasn't that high, you know. There'd be times, you know, obviously it'd go up to maybe like 5 to 10 grand max. But there were most of these contests were like winning $1,000, sometimes $2,000. And you know, okay, you might think, oh my God, it's $1,000, it's $2,000. Well, there's a lot of factors involved. One being is you got to get yourself there, and as a, you know, most of these contests are in the United States. Some of them would have qualifying, so you'd have to go there twice. So you have to accommodate, you know, that into. You have to factor that into your costs, right? Into the contest. Obviously, if there's a qualifier, usually the first place prize money was much higher. There'd be times where I remember I qualified for contests, and you know, I would go qualify, I would destroy stuff, and then all of a sudden they wouldn't let me into the contest for political reasons, because maybe I was too good, or I was a pro, and then they just decided all of a sudden that it was going to be an amateur contest. So I spent time getting down to these contests, and yet didn't get anything. As a result, got nothing in return. But like I said, so if a contest sometimes got you $1,000, one, you would have to win the contest 100% guaranteed. And so let's say you win $1,000. Sometimes, you know, it's going to cost you $500 to get there. So you're profiting $500. Sometimes you got to get a hotel. Sometimes it's like a 3-day thing. So, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you're profiting like, let's say $100, $200 for 3 days of travel and work. You know, it becomes very frustrating, or it becomes very difficult to do, especially on a you know, full-time basis or anything like that. It just wouldn't make sense. But obviously, if the contests were close and everything. Anyways, I'm sidetracking right now. I can talk about eating contests for a very long time, because it was a very big part of my life, and I was very, very heavily involved with a lot of stuff, and I have a shitload of stories. So if you guys ever have questions in regards to competitive eating, anything at all, I'm happy to talk about them, make videos about them, simply because I consider myself kind of a vet. No, I wasn't on the circuit for like 10 plus years, because truth be told, it's just gets kind of like, you've been there, you've done that kind of thing. Anyways, sidetracking once again, we're going into marijuana, weed. Does marijuana increase your appetite enough, or does it help with eating contests? And the answer for me personally is not really. There's you know, every person that does you know, has smokes up or has a certain substance that they smoke up with, they often get what we call munchies, right? So you get really hungry and you start eating a lot, or you want to eat a lot. The problem is when you get stoned, you get the munchies, but you start eating pretty slow. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm putting down? You start eating a little bit slow, and maybe you'll be eating a lot, but you won't be eating a lot fast. And that's the whole point of eating contests, where we're trying to consume as much food as possible in a short period of time. 10 minutes or less usually. So you want to try and eat as much food as possible in that time period. So let's say you want to, you're stoned as hell and you want to eat everything, but you're not going to do better than the other person because the other person's focused on eating. All these competitive eaters, they're not there to enjoy the meal. Some people, obviously come to these contests and they don't generally, they don't necessarily do that well in the contest. But then they get a free meal and everything. But the top competitors are there to win, and they don't care about the food taste. They have a process. It's bite, chew, swallow, bite, chew, swallow, or just swallow, swallow, swallow. It depends on the type of food. So some of it may require more chewing, some may require less. But that being said, my experiences with marijuana, the first time I did it before an eating contest, smoked up before an eating contest, I actually destroyed my contest. It was an insane, I actually crushed the record that existed. So the first example is not a good example in the sense that it did help me. It did help me a shitload. So I was in New York. It was my first year. It was my first year competing. It was my last contest of the year in December of 2008, and I did potato latkes. And this victory actually was covered by media all around the world. I've never had so much press coverage from one eating contest. It was nuts. It was just everywhere. But I think the record was eating 31 of these potato latkes, so potato pancakes, if you're not familiar with it, in about 8 minutes. And then I did the contest, and I ate 46 in 8 minutes. So a huge increase, like 50% more than the record. So I just totally destroyed it. And I remember that I smoked up, and I still don't, like, if I ever do, weed once in a while, I don't do it often at all. And so it hits me really hard, really quick. So did that, and then like an hour afterwards, that's when I got to eat. And I kind of wanted to eat right away, but it was like an hour afterwards, and maybe that increased my appetite. Maybe that increased my desire to win, or it simply just didn't do really that much necessarily, and I was just really that good, and I got that record, based on just skill, not necessarily a weed, right? The next example, I remember doing a hot dog contest in New York City, and I was kind of like, I just wasn't feeling it. The day before I did a contest, and I did well, but the next day I felt full. I didn't feel like I had the appetite. I had a tough competition, and I was kind of nervous. I had like Kobayashi and stuff like that for hot dogs, and I decided to try and smoke up. And so I smoked up, and I was stoned. It felt good, but then I went into the contest, and I didn't perform well at all. Like terribly. I performed absolutely terribly. Like, it was just not a good outcome whatsoever. Like, I don't think I even posted that video because it was so shit. I think I ended up doing like 27 or 28 hot dogs or something like that. And it was a shit result. I should have done way more, should have done way better, and I didn't even feel good at the end. And I don't know. It was just really terrible. And I think after that experience, I was just like, this shit doesn't do anything. But I think, like with anything, a lot of stuff is mental. Even if you're stoned and everything, you're mentally thinking that you're hungry and all that stuff, and the munchies. Maybe some of it is for real, but I mean, like with anything in life, it's all about, how strong your mind is, right? And controlling yourself. So, in that contest, for an example, I should have been strong-minded and just like push through and be like, whatever, you're hungry, make yourself hungry, force yourself to destroy this contest and all that stuff. And that didn't happen that time. I don't recall really doing weed again before an eating contest. I just simply think that the the rationality of all of it is that if you smoke up, you might want to eat, but you're not going to eat a lot, and that is the reality. Not a lot fast. That's a big thing. And so it doesn't really work for eating contests, but it can work for like eating challenges. So let's say you got an hour, sometimes you have these pizza eating challenges. They're huge pizzas and you have like an hour to eat it. And the key to actually one of those contests is not actually these challenges. It's not actually to eat it fast. It's to eat it slowly but surely. Maybe not slowly, but eat it just at a consistent basis so that you aren't necessarily like filling yourself up too fast, and you just want to keep a good pace the whole time. And I feel like if you're stoned, you probably would be able to keep up a good pace the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thoughts. Eating contests won't necessarily help you. I don't think it'll help you. I don't know about other people that have used marijuana to increase their performance in eating contests. Eating challenges, I could see it happen. I could see it work. Hell, maybe I'll try it one day. I have no idea. But anyways, like they said, let me know if you guys have any other questions in regards to competitive eating contests, any stories that you guys would like to hear. I got a ton, so just fire my way if you guys want to see anything. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys grab yourself some Goku Gains. Maybe a Goku Gains tea. Goku Gains pre with your Goku Gains tea. Check out our new release, FuriousApparel.com. Thanks again for tuning in. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe, like up this video, and we'll catch you guys next time. You guys stay sexy, stay hungry, gains, and get light.